Hey guys, Rudy here with the Rhinestone World. So in this tutorial video, we're going to show how to create a two-color decal working with CorelDRAW, Design Wizard software, and the GS-24 Roland here. Alright, so we're going to go through the whole entire process of separating the colors, creating registration marks, setting it to our cut software, and also cutting our design. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and apply our application tape to finish our decal. Alright, so let's go over here to our software and show you exactly how this process is completed.
Alright, so we're over here in CorelDRAW X8. As you can see, we have How Merlot Can You Go? This is going to be the design we're going to be cutting out today. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to separate our colors. Now, because we are working with our FTC sign vinyl material and ultimately creating a card decal, I want to make sure that I also create registration marks, which is going to make that actual application process, setting up the application process a lot easier. Alright, so to do that, we can use our Design Wizard software here. So I'm going to go to my Templates tab, and then here we have TRU Magic Templates. If I hold down Shift and then left click on the TRU Magic Templates, alright, so I'm holding down Shift, and now I'm going to go ahead and left click on TRU Magic Templates, and there is our separation of colors. We also have these square boxes here on each side of our templates, which is our registrations. Alright, so that's what I'm going to use to register both these colors once I'm ready to do that. Alright, now we're ready to send these templates to our cutter. So let's go ahead and grab the one that we want to send over. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control C to copy that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and open a new page up here at the top. And now I can go ahead and bring this in. So I'm going to hold Control V as in Victor to paste in there. So now that we have that template by itself on this new page, I can go to my export, select Roland Cutter, and then hit Send to Cutter. Now that's going to bring up my Cut Studio program, and I'm ready to send this to my cutter.
Alright, great. So now that we have our design sent over to our Cut Studio software, now we're ready to cut that design out. So here we have our FTC sign vinyl. So as you can see, we have our burgundy color. Now we're first going to cut out that Merlot and Go. So we're going to first put our material into our Roland GS-24 cutter here. Again, make sure that they're right below our white lines. That means that our pinch rollers are going to grasp to the actual roller here. Alright, so once you're happy with where your material is, let's go ahead and bring the lever up here, which is going to pinch down those pinch rollers. And now we're ready to set our blade right over our origin, ready to cut this material. Alright, so as you can see here, we have select sheet. Now I'm going to go ahead and select piece. Right, so the piece is actually going to read the width and also the length of my material. So if I'm cutting a piece that is too big, obviously it won't be able to cut it, so it's going to let me know, hey, that design you've created is too large for this material. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and enter. And again, that's going to read our material here. So there we have it. Now the first thing I want to do is we're going to go ahead and create a quick little test cut just to verify that the settings are correct. I am using my 45-degree blade here. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit over here force. As you can see, we have it at 70, so let me go ahead and do 60, and let's try it at that. Alright, so I'm going to hit enter. That sets that to 60. Now I can just hit and hold test. Alright, so test is going to allow me to go in here and create that little test cut. And there we have it. So that looks good. Let's see how well that did. Alright, so if I bring that out, let me go ahead and grab a weeding tool. And let's see how well that cut our design there. So it should be able to come off fairly easy there. And it did. Let's make sure the inside here also comes off easily. And it does. Perfect. So we're ready to cut. Alright, so let's go ahead and send this to our, let's go ahead and set our origin here for our cut. So I can use my arrow keys here to set that. So again, I'm going to go ahead and hit the up arrow to bring the material up on the cutter. And then we're going to go a little bit towards the left here. Now, once I'm happy with the location of my blade and the origin point, I'm going to hit origin, and I'm just going to go ahead and hold, and then it's going to tell me origin set, so we're ready to send our design over to our cutter. All right, so now that we have our origin set, and I have my design set over here in my Cut Studio program, I'm going to go ahead and send it over to the cutter, and it's going to begin the cut. Right? Beautiful. Looks like it's a perfect cut, exactly what we're looking for. Now we're just going to go ahead and repeat the same process for our second color. All right, and then once that's complete, we're going to go over here to our workstation and make sure we finish the process by applying our transfer tape. All right, beautiful. So here's our second cutout, our second color here. As you can see, I was able to utilize the time while we were cutting that second color to weed our first color here. All right, so let's go ahead and weed this one off real quick. And because I know the settings were perfect for me, this should not be a tough task whatsoever. So as you can see, not really being too careful here, making sure that we get all those cavities out of there. Perfect. So that excess material is off. Let's make sure now we go in here and again take those little cavities out of this design here, and not too many. The way I created this design was so the weeding process would be a little bit quicker. And then right up here we have one last one. All right, so right here, now you can see that's a pretty small one there, but again, because our cut force was set to the correct setting, that weeded perfectly. So there we go. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and use our transfer tape here, our tape material, which is going to actually create our transfer. All right, and then we also have a squeegee here to help us make sure that we have the decal decal actually applied to the transfer. All right, so here's what we're going to do. First thing we want to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply our transfer sheet here right over our first color. All right, so you can see here we have our registration marks. It's going to be very important here momentarily. All right, so again, we're just going to go ahead and lay this down right on our decal there and use our squeegee just to make sure that it is nice and flat and also applied to our application tape there. All right, perfect. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and peel just a little bit off the corner here, just enough where I can cut off where the actual registration mark was originally placed. So as you can see there, we're going to go right here is where we're going to cut. All right, so that's going to expose those registration marks. All right, perfect. So as you can see, we have our registration marks outside of the actual carrier sheet there. All right, so now that makes it very easy for me to go to the second color here and line it up. So I'm just going to apply the squares right on top of the squares. Perfect. As you can see, because I was able to cut that off, I still have these here ready to go. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. Now I can go ahead and peel off that top layer, and you can see it's going to expose our carrier sheet there. We can throw that out. Let's go ahead and line this back down, and you can see it's perfect placement for our second color there. Again, let's get that squeegee, make sure everything is on there correctly, and let's go ahead and peel. As you can see, those colors are both on there, so that's good to go. And I just verified that it was correctly on, so now we can cut our excess materials here. All right, so there we have it, guys. There's our two-color decal ready for application. Beautiful, guys. So that's how quick and easy it was to create that two-color decal working in CorelDRAW, Design Wizard software, and cutting our design with our Roland GS-24 cutter here. Now, if you guys are interested in learning how to create this design, make sure you guys tune into today's webinar, July 7th, 2016, as we show exactly how to create this in CorelDRAW. All right. Now, if it's past July 7th, you guys can still purchase the recorded version on our website. I actually have the link right down here in the description if you guys want to take a look at that. All right. Now, if you guys have any questions at all on the material process, make sure you guys give us a call. Telephone number is 941-755-1696. Have a great day, crew.